Yeah, good evening. I'm your host, Don Armando, and tonight is an impromptu stream about the passing of one of the leaders of Lesandro Junior Guzman-Feliz. So I know that this news has been, blasted on the internet, and everybody has their opinions about that young man's passing. Now, I'm not going to go around and say that I'm glad that that man passed away, but I'm glad that Junior's family, I guess, have some type of justice. When I'm saying this, I'm just saying this from the side of, I guess, the parents, because let's keep it real. That was a sad situation. That young man, um, Junior, didn't have to lose his life like that. And then on top of it, he lost it. He lost his life by people within our community, the Dominican community. So it's sad all the way around. But then you have certain people who are affected of it by it. They were saying a whole bunch of stuff about the guy who's in prison. I'm not going to go around and say anything because people could say, "Oh yeah, he deserved it," and all that other stuff. But you gotta admit, with all the people that they send in their opinions, because I understand the death of Junior affected a lot of people worldwide. Sad to say, but then we have to also be careful on what we say too, because the man that actually lost his life in prison a few days right now also have a family. So by a person's one misaction, you're gonna go around and blame him and then blame the family also. So all I'm just saying is that people, they have you have supporters and you have people that don't support you. So just think about one thing. That man lost his life, right? The one that actually committed the bad deed against Junior. So I guess now a mother lost her son. I guess she lost her son, well, in the penal system. But now, since he actually lost his life, certain people say it's deserved and everything. But then, what does the family have to do? Because the family of Junior, they're mourning it, and rightfully they should. But then when people start dissing the dead and they think that there's no repercussions coming from it, I mean, albeit people, they have their thoughts and they have their own opinions. But my take on it is that yeah, we have to be very careful when you're dissing people that have passed on, because you don't know if that karma or what you reap, what you sow, might come back to you. And me personally, I my opinion is that we don't know what went on, but at the same token, I'm not gonna go and say boohoo to that man's passing. One thing as a Christian, I'm just going to say is that if it, depending on if we get more details or anything like that, if he actually made it right with God, that's between him and God. We as humans, we don't know what to say, but this is just my standpoint as a Christian. Certain people might have other opinions about what happened. So I'm actually live stream on YouTube and on Instagram. And I have put the stream link in both of the descriptions. So anybody is welcome to join the panel and say your opinions. But one thing I'm just reporting on this is because this has been breaking news since Saturday. So I'm not going to go and report on stuff that I do not know. But from what I've heard, one person said that prison justice occurred. Another person said that guy, Jonaiki, went and passed away from natural causes. So we don't know. I don't know. There's not a clear story out. But what is certain is that young man went and passed away in prison. So until then, I'm just going to vibe out to the music. Yeah, that's what's up, Scully Ton. Yeah. So Scully Ton, tonight we're just talking about, I don't know if you ever heard this up in Trinidad, but in 2018 in New York, there was an unaliving of a young man by the name of Lesandro Junior Guzman-Feliz. And some young men attacked him with machetes and unalived him. So most of the people who were actually there got convicted of the crime. So one of the men that got convicted of the crime was found dead. Albeit whether it be Friday or Saturday, I'm not sure which day. But tonight I'm just making an impromptu stream about it. Yeah, that's what's up. Thank you, Scully Tom, for always supporting. Thank you. For anybody that follows me on Threads, I actually put the StreamYard on there, so it might be easy for y'all. Yeah. So let's just go and review facts. Now, you know, in the streets, when it comes to Dominicans, a lot of people have their opinions, but then there are certain people that have a certain pushback when it's talking about the situation. I mean, if you actually look at it, it's all the way bad. But then again, you reap what you sow. So, to certain people who are actually villainized because of this, everybody wants to say, oh, this, that, and the third, when the fact is, you have certain people that did not partake in that action, but since they are involved in what they're involved in, they'll always be blamed for that young man's passing of Junior Feliz. So, to certain people who live in the street life, it's actually a sensitive topic to talk about, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't know, and there's a lot of New York City street politics that is actually involved that I don't know, or I can't really talk about, because what's in the street is supposed to be in the street. One thing that I'm trying to see is that how could all of us people or parents could be vigilant at all times, because it was a sad happening, and certain people have done worse when it comes to other countries. So, what can we do to protect the next generation from, I guess, what you would call crash outs, or I guess the term YNs? Because you have certain people who are talking. But me personally, I don't know if there's any end in sight unless people have to change their hearts. But then again, that's just my opinion, though. You know what's going on? That's right. Never thought about it like that. Okay, so talking about that quote unquote baby mama prevalence, is it actually prevalent in your home country more than the United States, or it's about the same? Yo, shout out to Rob Frio. So if anybody wants to join the discussion, the StreamYard link is on the bottom. I'm talking for all my users up on Instagram. And for YouTube, I actually have the link in the description. Yeah, that's true. Might be a less probability. I mean, I guess parentage has a right, but then I can't really speak for anybody else because let's be real, we don't know anybody's situation. Yeah, that's the point that I'm trying to make, because not all single mothers is bad. You have some women who are widows. So, in the Bible, it says that you have to help the widows also. And then you have some women that, that they've been in bad relationships. And the guy's also a bad mate to that woman. So therefore, when they're divorced and everything, people will be making fun of a woman who divorced because, they was like, oh, that's a single mom.
No, you don't call that woman a single mom. You call that woman a survivor. And on top of it, if she's also educated and she's putting the best foot forward for her children, just don't call her a single mom. Just call her a single provider, because let's be real. There's some women that actually want to say, okay, yeah, you're a single mom and all this stuff, because they think of children to go and build the man out of money. Or they'll actually look at their child as a cash cow, as to a person or something. So, with that said, one thing that I've got to say, like, for women who actually view a man like that as a cash cow, just don't have children, because let's keep it real. Nobody wants that misery. A man losing his finances, you trying to gain it or lose it, whatever. And then on top of it, if you really care for the child, you don't, like, depending on the situation and everything, because let's keep it real, you got some men that do not do nothing for their children, and you got men that do, but yet they suffer the hardest in this country. How you doing, Don Jose? Yeah, I mean, tonight I'm just doing an impromptu stream, and we're talking about, because in the news since Saturday, one of the men that actually unalived Lesandro Junior Guzman-Feliz was found out that he passed away in his prison cell. And there's a lot of people that do not know what really goes on. And I'm not here to speculate, but we could talk about the incident. Got you. Woohoo! That's what's up. Well, you and I, we might have to talk behind the scenes about that one. Oh, that's what's up. I mean, I got family in Atlanta, Don Jose. Yep. Nice. How you doing? Yeah. Yo, so Don Jose, you're going to Atlanta for vacation?
or it's work related. All right. That's nice. Hey, I hope you have fun. I hope to go to Atlanta one day because I know that I have some friends that live out there. And then from what I discovered like maybe a few years ago, I have a lot of family out there. On both sides, I think. On my mom's side. I don't know which one. But matter of fact, yeah, my dad's side too. Now that I think about it. So, you know, hopefully one of these days I'll go to Atlanta. And I hope it's a great experience.
Mm. So, Don Jose, did it rain today up in New York, or is it just hot all day? Yeah, it was. But here out in Philly, well, in certain parts, it was raining, cats and dogs. But then when I went to another part of Philadelphia today, it was just actually cool until it just actually started raining. So Philly sometimes will be weird like that. Yeah. Yeah, sorry guys. I just had to talk to the missus, so you know, that's what we do. Yo, shout out to you, Right Truth. I mean, shoot. You're welcome to join the panel. I got the link in the description. If you can't actually access it, I'll actually send it to you, right? Yeah. So back to the topic. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of mixed reactions, and I guess you could call a fallout due to this this convicted killer passing. So I could actually say that I was not there during the time when that happened, because I was just actually into my second year living in Philadelphia when I actually heard that news of that young man's passing. So even though I'm from the Bronx, I'm not from the Fordham section. I'm mostly from the section that you would call Soundview or the East Bronx. So when I heard that, it actually affected me also. I mean, from what news reports had said, that young boy, Lesandro Junior Guzman-Feliz, actually had a promising future, but it was cut short due to certain people could say it's a mistaken identity. I'm not sure, because there's a lot of backstories to that, which I'm not really going to get into. Yeah, I hear you, Don Jose. I mean, this month it's been the anniversaries of a lot of people that passed. So it was my aunt, my mother, and a best friend of mine. So for other people, June could be like a good month and everything, but with me, it's quasi good, because in 2023, that's when I actually became a homeowner. So I actually celebrated 2 years of being a homeowner with my wife. Oh, all right. Yeah, sometime. Yeah, I guess it's the connection. Scully tongue. So let's see. All right, I'm back. Yeah, so sometimes it's the connections. I guess I'll have to. Well, I guess I'll have to talk to Verizon about that. Exactly. Thank you, Don Jose. Yeah. If you hear any background that you think is scratching or anything like that, that's my cat. I mean, sometimes she feels up to it. I think today she's actually extra frisky because she unalived a mouse. And she did it efficiently. So I might have to give her some steak later. Oh yeah, shout out to the homie Ride Truth. So as I was saying, it was just it was just a really, really bad situation that happened in 2018. I couldn't really be in the Bronx for all of that because there was a lot of marches from what I've seen, a lot of people protesting. The Dominican community in the Bronx actually rallying support for Guzman-Feliz family. And a lot of stuff, I guess, streetwise came out. It's actually all confusing because, like I said, I don't want to go and talk about any misinformation because there's a lot of people who are actually affected by this. So, if I'm going to report on something, I'm not going to go and misinform or just put my own spin to the news because that lacks integrity. So I would actually like to talk to the source or sources because there's a lot of theories that's been buzzing around ever since 2018.
So, you know, and then on top of it, this month was the seventh anniversary of Junior's passing. So, one thing I could actually say is that for the family of Junior, God bless y'all. I know that it's not gonna bring Junior back, but so I'm not gonna go around and be extra disrespectful or anything like that, but I'm just gonna say that justice has been served. Okay. Got you. Let's see what I can do. All right. Well, as you know, just to I guess enhance certain stuff, I've actually had a green screen, so hopefully you can see me better, or I guess my background better. Yeah, salute. Oh yeah, I got I got a special present for you, bro. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, so as you know, you're you're now part of the admin family, Ray Cruz, or as I should call you, Rye Truth. I mean, yeah, you can't be too careful. Yep. Yeah, because you got certain people who hack into stuff. But they're like, oh yeah, we see you and everything. Okay, I'm gonna be a boring guy. Who cares? Let's be for real. If you hack into people who have a monetary, who are not really monetarily funded, and you think you're gonna go and extort them just because you hacked them, sorry. There's certain people in this generation that are not actually Bitcoin savvy or crypto coin savvy. I'm one of them. So I don't even know which. I've heard of Bitcoin, but then I don't know which is the highest bidder, because from what I'm hearing, a lot of these cryptocurrencies is crashing. But then again, I need to get more educated in that, because I heard that there is money in that, but I don't know. I know in El Salvador that they use cryptocurrency. Let me see. Yeah, I pinned the right one. Sorry for that, Scully Tom. And in other news, in Philadelphia, it looks like that certain buses and trains they're going to be cutting their lines because a lot of people don't pay. That's going to be a good inconvenience for Philadelphia. What's good?
Good. See
Hey,
image. Hey,
yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
folks, what up, Don? Good night, good night, good night.
How's everything, Scully Time?
That's yet to find scattered showers. Can't complain.
I hear you, man. Oh, yeah. I would like to come to your country one of these days, man. I heard that the festivals is hot out there. I mean, I seen the only time I seen, I guess what you would call I don't know what y'all call that, but I guess y'all call it masquerade or something like that. It's on the Jay-Z video when he made that video in Trinidad with Pimp C and Bun B.
That's probably carnival. In Brazil,
Carnival.
they call it carnaval, but it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. And it falls like I guess within the same time period as the
Same
one in
month,
New
yeah.
Orleans. Because it's like New Orleans have Mardi Gras. Um,
Yep,
Trinidad got Carnival, and then in
yep,
Brazil they call Carnivale or something like that.
yep. We're far gone, but we haven't reached the stage as Brazil and other countries. We don't use pasties on female nipples as much as they do in those other countries.
Yeah, I mean, if I was single, yeah, I would have went to Brazil, but I was telling friends, they was like, hey, would you go to Brazil now? I was like, no. They was like, why not? I was like, no. I mean,
Well,
think
there
about it.
were some interesting fads that came up, and we in Trinidad copied like this particular thing called bedazzling, where you would stick
Right.
sequins on like clothing and like bags and stuff, but they started doing it on the body itself, almost like tattoos. So they used to do it around the
Wow.
nipples and around the vag. So they decided to call it vajazzling, and stuff started to go really
Yeah,
really crazy. But
you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I've heard about it. I just never knew what it was. I
yeah,
just thought people just making buzzwords and everything like that. But I have heard
real
that word
freaky
before.
stuff. Yeah, real freaky. But it's a lot alike to the black what do you call it, the black tape. Am I remembering
Right.
correctly? The Black Tape Project. Yes, that's it. It's
Got you.
supposed to accentuate sex appeal. I get it. I mean, it's a little bit out there for kids to be watching on TV too. So, eh.
Yeah.
But Carnival is pretty crazy. If you had a mind to get freaky, you could practically get away with it while you're jamming and whining and liming. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's only if you're familiar with the culture a little bit. If you could be a complete newbie and you wouldn't have any clue that such debauchery is going on. But yeah, you could pull aside a bikini
Yeah.
and get it in. So a lot of that happens. A
I mean,
lot.
we have like a carnival in Brooklyn. I mean, there's not that much debauchery going on because it's the United States. But then the only thing is though is like all the gangsters. If there's somebody that you want to get on that day, because there's
Yeah.
not a lot of police presence in that day. Well, that's when people started pew pewing and all the other stuff. So I don't really go
I
there.
hear that.
I don't really go to Brooklyn for that because I just used to go to go to the Juve because my uncle,
Yeah,
may
that's true.
God rest his soul, he used to always have a party during Juve night. And I know we were safe because we was in his house.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah.
To secure yourself, a lot of
Hmm.
people they pay top dollar to get into the exclusive masquerade groups, and with that they give you like these little bands, like they give you in the hospital, uh, and yeah, they have security rope you off. So while you're chipping down the road, you'd be protected, and at the very least, you wouldn't really have to worry about outsiders trying to finagle their way in. It happens, but if you want, if you have a mind to it, and you really, really, really want to attend, you just have to
Right.
ensure your safety. You know.
Got you. I mean, I ain't gonna front. I would like to document it, but me personally, as me participating in it, nah, I think I'm too old for that.
I
So I'll
agree.
bow out. But I would like to, to go document a lot of festivals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could be really crazy. If you're a cameraman, you have to be very careful and very sharp, because with lenses, it's
Right.
very easy to steal. And if you're not very careful with your
Right.
bag at your hip, it could very easily be lifted off of you. But more than that, you also have to be careful
Yeah.
of the roughnecks. There are a lot of guys who just pick itching for a fight. They well, we used to have a particular shoe called Clarks. If you stepped on that, whoo, fight start for sure. That's
Wow.
one. And
Hmm.
well, it was like a suede shoe, so it's very easy to damage, I guess. But that aside, there was
You
also
talking
a lot
about
of
Clarks,
stabbing.
right?
Come
Yeah.
again?
You said Clarks, right?
Yeah, Clarks.
Yeah.
Clarks. Clarks. It was like a
Yeah, we
suede
got
type
them
of
here.
shoe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we still
It's
got
kind
them
of
here.
died down. It's kind of died down as a trend locally, but it's still are out there.
Right.
If anyone is just itching for a fight, they would put their foot deliberately so you would step on it. Whew. And
Oh wow.
apart from that, there is random stabbings. It does happen. It doesn't get advertised, but it's there. And one
Yeah.
thing that did make the news maybe a few years back was a particular Japanese girl. It was either Japanese or
Hmm.
Chinese. I think it was Japanese. Her name was Asami Nagakia. Somehow she
Yeah,
disappeared,
Japanese,
and
I guess.
yeah, they found her body like a couple days later. So things can happen. It's
Uh,
rare, but it does happen.
I mean, yeah, because I was just actually educating myself that maybe in the hoods in Trinidad, maybe you would know more than I would. I've heard
Hmm.
that there's a full on I guess gang war. Is it was like I guess it was like it was an old war. They said it was Rasta City versus the Muslims, but now they actually changed names or rebranded or something like that. And from what I've heard, there's a lot of people that are actually sending out, you know, drill tracks and everything like that. The Trinidad version. I mean, it's hot, but then again, I don't know what the beef is about. Maybe you would know more than me, Scully Tongue.
I'm not as versed as I should be because I deliberately try not to focus on it. It's so easy to get nihilistic with the crime and all the happenings that is go on locally. But as for that particular couple, I shouldn't say couple, but those couple of gangsters or gangsters wannabe. Um, I have a friend who lives in a particular area. He tells me that there is no Muslim group. They just how to put it? It was just a name thrown out there as a,
Right.
what would you call that? As a dummy, as a decoy. So
Oh.
for people who are not actually in the groups, that's just a
Hmm.
red herring that was thrown up for random normies to hear. So I would
Right.
have to go and speak to him and get some more info on that again. But I am actually a little more concerned with us as a country compared to Venezuela.
Yeah.
Their groups, well, I shouldn't say they're more hardcore, but I will say that they could beat us in numbers hands down. So we really shouldn't be too focused
Yeah.
on warring each other, more on the incoming invaders.
Yeah, because apparently, ever since last year here in the United States, there is one group from Venezuela that actually crossed over, and they've been running amok.
Something 13. I'm trying to call it all out, but yes, I'm
Yeah,
familiar.
yeah, yeah. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
That's called them, and they've been doing. I guess they've been running amok, but for some reason, you haven't heard of those guys up in Philadelphia where I live at. So I don't know what's happening. Maybe those are nah. We ain't going to Philly. But everywhere else, I guess in certain big cities of the United States, you've been hearing about these guys running amok and getting deported, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess if you don't look for them, you won't see them. But then
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people doing interviews in English and Spanish about these guys. And then there was another guy who was from Venezuela that was actually trying to tell people how to get over the system, and then he got deported.
Yeah, I remember that guy. That was funny. I think it was a TikTok and people on YouTube brought it over and it was viral for quite a bit. It was funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, to me, it was funny because it's like this. I'm for people immigrating to the United States the right way, right? And if it's the
I
wrong
agree.
way, and if it's like if your life is in danger, just get asylum. You know what I'm saying? But now,
Refugee status. Yes, yes.
yes. But now, since of everybody having refugee status and everything like that, it's to the point that it's like certain people they just took advantage and they think that they was not going to go and respect the laws of a country. Well, guess what? You got thrown out.
Yeah. I have a little bit of an eye out there, and some other YouTubers told me there are homeowners who got unhoused because of those illegal immigrants. They just show up and take over. That's one issue. And if they just provide a single vague document, they could claim ownership and completely overrun. Uh,
Yeah, and
that,
yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing that I hate to say it. People could not agree with me, but they're running. I'm, I'm not either Democrat or a Republican. But one thing I could
mm,
actually say is that you have certain people that they want to actually discourage ownership, and they want
yeah,
to try to make America into a proposed communist state. I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying that California is doing because Gavin Newsom is not really doing nothing. Let's be honest.
I think there was
I
some
mean, like
primaries or some small election that went on recently, and Gavin Newsom lost the elections for once, surprisingly. But that might be just yesterday or the day before. But I'm hearing you. Go on.
yeah, because a lot of people are saying that he's messing up that state. So,
Hmm.
and then you know, Republican versus Democrat and all this other stuff, the Marines and the orders and such. I'm like, y'all not proving nothing because at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want, but let's keep it honest. The people are hurting while everybody's pockets is getting fat.
That's what it means to be in politics or lifelong politician. They just guaranteed to get their pockets lined.
Yeah, pretty much.
As for that particular country, state, they trying. They're I'm gonna try and talk my normal English, my broken English. From what I
I mean,
understand,
I
they
understand.
come again.
I understand. Yo, shout out to
Yeah.
Varoncito.
Hey, yeah, I could switch up back and forth, but what I was going to say is that, from what I understand, they're trying to set it up as a sanctuary state so that they could run whatever ideas pop into their head. So, no cash bail, that is one. Um, Another immigrant, I remember, he was drunk. He was doing a live stream. He ran over some guy or gal, I can't remember, and continued driving. And was destroying the car along the process. But basically, if you're an immigrant, you have free reign to do whatever.
Yeah, that's that's to me is very crazy. I mean,
That's crazy, I
I ain't
have
gonna,
to
I
say.
ain't gonna, yeah, it is, because it's like how much stuff that you think you can get away with, when you got certain people that that they're trying to that they'll say, hey, you can come to this country with open arms, but yet there might be a sinister plot behind it, and then you have certain people that are actually trying to fight it. But then with politics and certain people who's like, oh, you hurting us, you're a narcissist, and all this other
But
terminology.
yes.
But then one thing which I see funny, right? Because I'm not either there or there because of what's going on in the Middle East. But one thing for sure, I am not going to go and be flying the Iranian flag. I'm going to be honest. For like 46 years, ever since Khomeini took power in Iran, right?
Mm,
All they were saying was death to America, death to whoever. I'm
yep.
saying whoever because I'm trying to, just
Self
be
censor.
wary of the censor on YouTube.
Yes.
So my thing is that why all of a sudden, if you do not like America so much that you protesting and everything like that, you're gonna wave a flag, the Iranian flag, the flag that and I'm just saying this for the women, right? I can understand
Mm.
you angry with going on the other conflict in the Middle East, but why are you gonna go and fly a flag just because you want to think that you're a badass and everything? But 9 times out of
Uh,
10, have this country treats its women bad. If people heard of honor deletions and everything like that, and then
oh yeah.
certain laws within Iran does not go forward for women as they do in the United States. If you actually did your research about what goes on in Iran, 9 times out of 10, a lot of you women would not actually be waving that flag. And that's all I'm going to say.
To answer your first question, I would say how well. The first question, if I remember, was how far is too far, how much is too much, something like that. I'm paraphrasing, if you'll forgive me.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
think I think there is no boundary. There was a very short black and white film. I think it was filmed at night. A couple were walking in California, and
Right.
this a well-to-do girlfriend decided she wanted to help the homeless guy lying on the ground. She she and her boyfriend poked at the guy. The guy woke up in a frenzy, and yeah, he poked just with a pointy object.
Oh yeah, I remember something like that. Yeah.
So dude end up bleeding out, and well, yeah, that's just one other example of how far is too far. There is no limits. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
Deletions. is
Mhm.
permitted.
Yeah, just like these streamers, right? You got certain
Hmm.
people that that they stream, and they want to be a Johnny Somali or Vitali or something like that, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I remember who. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean streamers that actually go and do stupid pranks on people, and then on top of it, they want to actually treat people bad and everything like that, so therefore they could get streams or they could get people to actually watch them. I mean, me personally, I don't really subscribe to that content when you actually bothering innocent people. And I hate to say it, but Johnny Somali effed around and he found out, and now he's serving year. I guess he's serving years within a South Korean jail just for the stupid antics he was doing. So, me personally, one thing I got to say to anybody who considers themselves a passport bro or you want to be a disrespectful Westerner is that hey, if you're gonna go to another country, go and actually learn go and actually learn the customs, so therefore you can have a nice time and respect the laws. That's all I
This
got to
thing
say.
on.
Yeah, it is.
Cuckoo. Volume
Yep.
up.
Yeah,
Looking
we hear
good.
you. Yep.
I got paused. Is it playing?
Yeah, it's playing. We hear you.
Seeing the screen, not hearing a thing. Okay, I think I
Yeah,
heard
I
here.
mean, I don't see the screen, but well,
Okay, I can hear
I,
you
I
now.
do.
I'm good.
All right.
Last thing I heard was the new Sun streamers you were bringing up.
Oh yeah, I was talking about that to streamers, right? Since they like to go to other countries and do stupid stuff that they think that they could get away with in America. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of these people are playing. I mean, if I ever go to Japan or let's just say Malaysia, right? I'll try to be in the best
Sure.
of my behavior because certain people within Asia, right? And this is not a secret, they have preconceived notions of people of my skin color.
Hmm.
So if you have preconceived notions of people my skin color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break out your preconceived notions and I'm going to go and try to treat your culture and you with respect. I'm not going to be a Johnny Somali. Now I'm going to go around be recording people and doing the most just so I could get views. And then we saw what happened. You got in jail. Then on
Hmm.
top of it, Vitaly, he went up and did the same thing. And I'm actually ashamed of this guy. This guy's like maybe, let's see, I gotta go around and see how old this guy is. Vitaly,
That's
Vitaly.
guy Vitali, I think. Oh no, it might have been
Yeah, yeah,
Somali
the Russian
himself.
guy.
I believe there was some guys in Korea that was somewhat like streamer snipers, in that if they
Oh
know you're
man.
streaming, you would go out and find them and whoop their ass. I am
Yeah, I
actually
guess
on
that's
their
what
side for that.
Johnny.
I'd say, just like you, I'm in a foreign country. I do my best to be respectful. Even if I don't understand everything, I'd ask for explanation, and I'm not looking to get deported. So
Yeah. So
I could imagine that there would be a big old red stamp in my passport says, "Do not come back," in a foreign language.
exactly, exactly, and I ain't trying to do that. So apparently, Vitaly is 33 years old, and he's
Hmm.
doing this nonsense. I'm like, homie, you 33 years old. Like, pack that up, bro. I mean, you're gonna go to foreign countries. And I could understand you're not even an American citizen. And you got away with so much in America. And you thought that you was gonna get away with that in the Philippines, bro? Get out of here.
I have I have a couple thoughts. One is about Brittany Griner, and I'll come back to Vitali. With
All right.
Brittany Griner, I think it was some kind of weed substance or T, what is CBD
Yeah.
oils. But she had every right to be rotten in that prison for a little while longer. Not even looking at the exchange for the Lord of War. But as for Vitali, he's gotten 3 months, I believe, in the sardine packed prison. So
Right.
he's gonna come out there looking really emaciated. I think he is also using protein powder to keep up that size. He's not huge,
Mhm.
but without the protein powder, he's gonna look just as skinny as you could imagine. But
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
actually
they
hoping
actually
for work.
they actually went up and published a recent pic of him actually looking skinny. So, there's a
But there you
Philippine
go.
martial arts guy by the name of Mark Strigler and stuff. They were actually
Hmm.
making fun of
Eh,
Vitaly, disrespecting the
Well,
nation like that.
as the saying goes, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And as for Johnny Somali, I was actually hoping
Mhm.
that he would end up going over to China. They would have dealt with his ass. That maybe that's mean of
Yeah,
me, but I know they don't play across there.
trust me. Let's China, from what I've heard, right, is a very
Hmm.
authoritative country, meaning to the
Oh yeah,
point that you cannot even say anything, and you could get in jail for maybe 5 years for dissing political people in China. So if I go in China, I know two things
yeah.
is gonna happen. I know when I walk around, it's not gonna be, hey, I'm gonna be walking around, having a nice stroll and everything like that. It's gonna be it's gonna be me, my wife, just strolling. And then there's gonna be two
Hmm.
people that's gonna follow you. That's how China do it. That's
Oh
what I've
yeah.
heard. Yeah.
They're not very fond of the black man.
I mean, to be honest, right? A lot of
Hmm.
people are not fond of the black man because think about it, it's all propaganda. Because you have certain people that never seen a black person in their life, right? But if you actually consume media, right, that actually put a
Hmm.
black man in a bad light, we're talking about, like, if you look at from movies from maybe the 80s and the 90s that are actually controlled by um by big multimedia firms, right?
Yeah,
Most of
yeah.
the times, most black actors and everything like that, they are either typecast as a gangster or as a pimp or whatsoever. So therefore, when you actually make videos and movies, and you're not actually showing people of importance, people who are lawyers, who are good lawyers, straight up mothers and fathers, but yet you showing all the ignorant stuff of people getting beat up, or people portraying a so-called quote unquote gangster lifestyle. What
Yep.
makes you think that certain people are just gonna go come up and respect you? I mean, it's not always gonna be that way because certain people have a preconceived notion about you just because of what they see in media or what their relatives told you. And then you have a lot of bad experiences in the United States where people do not understand each other, and ignorant stuff happens like deletions. So you have certain people that that they have a resentment because of their relatives that actually lived in Western countries and such. So they're always gonna go and try to paint us as the bad guy. So that's where preconceived notion comes from about when it's in Asia. So I understand.
Well, some people they only consume from media, as you say, the stereotypes. So all that they
Yep.
know is from what they see on TV and other forms of media. And they're not entirely wrong for seeing it so, but as you know, as you're explaining, that's not the whole picture. If you highlight only the bad, all you'll ever see is the bad. But there are
Right.
a lot of good blokes from every race, every ethnicity. So I'm not gonna entertain anyone just hating on a particular group just because they're different. But
Exactly.
that's me. As for their country, I've understood that a lot of them they have a tendency to want to touch a black man a lot more than anything else. Um,
Yeah.
some of the stereotypes are quite funny, but it depends on the person. Not everyone could take to that strangers touching your body, like rubbing your skin to see if it's painted on as a black man, or if your hair is curly, like how they read it in the books or whatever, or even to check to see if you have some mandingo in you.
Yeah. Um, my
Okay,
wife my wife ain't gonna like that. So yeah.
that's all I say about that. Yeah, but at the end of the day,
Yeah. Shout out to Lucy Ray.
you at the end of the day, I have I follow another YouTuber. He's actually Caucasian, but
Right.
the Chinese police surprise check on those with passports or even just visas visiting, they they get confused because they're expecting a black man, they're expecting a fight, but when they find him, he's white. So they're like
Right.
stymied, like what? How is a white man from Africa? But at least that's
Right.
his passport. But
Got you.
um, yeah, you don't want to go around the Asian communities and mess around. It could be North or South Korea, could be um, even the Philippines. That you do them Vitali and Somali and all the rest of them. They're actually doing
Right.
us a good by being cautionary tales. So other people who travel in the world, they will get the proper treatment that they deserve. And while
Exactly.
maybe they were a little harsh to Brittany Griner, she
Right.
knows better. I mean, she's a grown ass woman? Question mark. But
Right.
yeah, that's all I'll say about that.
I hear you. So, oh yeah, one thing I gotta say. Happy birthday, Nucci Ray. So you know what? May God bless you to see many, many more. And that's all
Hail,
I gotta
happy
say
birthday,
to
man.
the rapper, Nucci Radio.
Ooh, somebody in the comments? No. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's somebody on my Instagram because I'm actually live on Instagram also.
I really should try to reach out to the other platforms. I am thinking like an old boomer, stuck on only one or two
Got
social
you.
media.
Yep.
But for the most part, there are too many things to stretch yourself across. So, limited is good enough. I don't have that many contacts I really, really need to get out and, be in touch with. So that's cool. I mean, not judging anybody. If you're a thought though, and you need like 1,000,001 subscribers or followers and stuff, I'm going to dip out.
Yeah.
A friend was showing me his Instagram feed, and for the most part, those highlight reels, I got a pretty good understanding of what it's like. It's curated. People tend to put up their best impressions, their best recordings. So I know what I'm seeing there isn't 100%. Chicks like to take pics at the bar or the pool or in the beach or whatever in the bikinis and stuff. Cool, that's fine. But what about the other 99% of the time? I ain't falling for it. I mean, your life ain't perfect. Ain't no movie stars in real life. There's good and there's bad. So, not a big fan of TikTok neither. So, yeah, real boomer head, old guy over here.
Yeah. I had to take a phone call Scully time.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah. It's like whenever I'm doing a stream, that's where I get the most
Hmm.
calls. It's funny.
Yep. Well, we can't all be popular, so
Yeah, I know.
yeah. Weirdo. That's a pretty good descriptor for me. If anything, I'm a homebody. I live in
Right.
books if I could. So I don't really have that many people, but of those that I do have, I think I'm pretty close with them. So I'm good with my small circle.
I hear you. So I'm just asking, Scully Town, have you ever been outside of Trinidad, or you been in Trinidad your whole life?
A previous stream, I think I responded in the comments. Yeah, I've been in Tobago. I visited once with some friends. I was too young to properly enjoy it, and I was kind of taking care of some of the elderly travelers, so I was a bit distracted from enjoying myself to the fullest. But in a
Got
short
you.
answer, I've only been between the two countries. I should say one country, but it's a twin island republic, so I'm gonna get it right. Yeah,
Right.
I've only been right here, homegrown native.
Got you.
It's not all that bad. I don't exactly need to travel the world to realize myself, so I think I'm okay. A little bit weird, but Spazzy could work for me.
Mhm.
But as for yourself, you're probably a globetrotter, huh?
I'm not so much a globe trotter, but I'm one like how should I say in my heart because I do like
Hmm.
going to places. I ain't gonna front. Because when me and my wife, we actually went on a Caribbean we went on a
Cruise?
Caribbean cruise. Yeah,
Nice.
it was actually it was actually good. We went to the Bahamas. I ate some I ate some fried conch, and I could actually say it was one of the best foods that I ever ate. And then on top of
Sure.
it, the cruise. When when I was actually in the place called Coco Cay, I mean that was the first time that I actually had like a deep sunburn. So skin was peeling. You had to go around and it was hot. You had to just take a shower. You had to go take a shower with cold water. It was just that hot for those few days.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a different kind of sunburn. I have another friend who lives in New York there, and despite being black, he looks almost white. Uh, at the end of it, yeah, I think you'll get a different set of UV rays compared to us here locally under the equator.
Yeah.
But that's good. Cruises and stuff. As long as you're in good company, I'm sure you had a blast.
Yeah, I was actually. I mean,
That's nice.
it was actually it was actually good because more than anything, like on the cruises, you saw more of the Indian and Chinese community, and then most of the
Yep.
servers within that aspect, there was actually really nice. Most of them from the Philippines. Uh, they're part of India, which is called Manipur or Nagaland, and
Mm-hmm.
then most of the people who are actually from the Philippines or Indonesia, they're actually nice, and it was great food. Hopefully, I'll go on the cruise again. It was
Sounds
like
good.
it was like I didn't know what I was missing. Although, although certain people actually wondered if I was a celebrity or something like that. I was like, I was like, when I showed the pictures to some of my friends, they was like, "Wow, you look like you was a celebrity." I was like, I was just wearing. I was wearing stuff that that my wife got. I didn't know I was gonna get all this fanfare.
I suspect it's mostly their height.
That too.
When um when a black guy talks very eloquently, when he can enunciate his vowels, when he could use proper diction, it
Right.
tends to draw eyebrows. It's like, huh? Wow, I just thought you were black. It's like, oh hell. But I got a
Yeah.
friend just like that. He speaks very well. I think if we had some haters, they would call him an Oreo. He's white inside and a black body. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, I've met certain people, but then the reason why we would actually use that term against them
hmm,
is like, okay, if you see that, if you see with certain instances that everything that a white T person does is correct, but then if you see something that a melanated person is doing wrong, and then they have like the double standards and everything like that. I mean,
yeah,
I dealt with the supervisor with the HR like that, and when I started seeing certain stuff that was not, how should I say, that was not right, you know, she was always targeting a certain type of people, guys who were eloquent, guys that that they had like I guess that star appeal. The next thing you know, they got fired all of a sudden. I'm like, I dodged that bullet. That's all I got to say.
well, that is a type of benevolent racism we have in this country, in the same way that you described. If you was a
Yeah,
white guy, or you came across as even looking white, you'd get better treatment. I've seen it a lot myself. It's kind of difficult to swallow, but it is just a mark of the corruption in any country.
thank you, Don
It's
Jose.
always good to get an idea. Hey, good night,
Right.
Lucy.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we have it in our country too. Everyone, I guess, has it to a certain extent, but it's like a
Yeah,
mindset to be convinced that like white people are better somehow, some way.
yeah. Or they'll be like, okay, and then on top of it, you have certain people that they just want to get, that they just want to propagate that mindset. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. That's just me. I just treat every anybody how they treat anybody. You know what I'm saying? So
Agreed.
if you don't like what I stand on, what I stand on, but I'm not gonna go and not like you because of your skin color, or your culture, because that to me is just very ignorant. And then on top of it, you have certain people that actually speak propaganda, propaganda. So you have to go around and fall back and see, like, okay, um, I do not really have any power in this fight, but at the same time, I see two people that do not like each other just because of what their quote unquote culture dictates, and
Hmm.
I don't think that's right.
Well, everyone has a different lived experience. I could think of the Japanese, or well, let me just stick with the Asians. They have a tendency to see the white people as being a step up, if not rich, at least in status, where you to get in other cultures, well, I should say in other places, if you are of a different country like China or Japan, uh, it's like war, like a cold war.
Yeah, I was actually reading about it. Well, actually, I was watching a video about it on YouTube today. That China and Vietnam, right? That they're like so that they're like so much alike as far as I guess their brand of communism and everything like that as their ideals and such. But when it comes to like, I guess their national identity and everything like that, that's like that's like two things that they both guard as far as I guess their ideological communist beliefs. But then if you really look at it, the regular people like each other. But then when it's politics, I guess with China and Vietnam, they're actually different.
Volume up and should be good again. Yeah. Dang, internet keeps dropping. 43, 46, 47. Think I'm back. You there, Don? Wow. Mic up. Cam on. Think I'm good. Probably answering the phone again. Uh, eh,
All right, I'm back.
okay. It's cool. I got dropped, but I'm back again myself.
That's great.
Internet keeps dropping.
I mean that. Don't worry, that happens with me too. Yeah. So let's see what else. Like in the Port of Spain, right? Which is like, which is the place that that is like, oh, all right. Mm. All right, that's good, Scully Time. Hey, at least you showed up. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course, Scully Time.
Yeah, on Instagram, shout out to Choco Gatillo. Well, that's just been another episode of Open Topics with Don Armando. Check us out Wednesday for the martial arts edition. And I'm out.